to the field of play as the CAF national anthem goes on. We do actually have a game on our hand this afternoon. The line has been drawn. It is up to who is ready and are well prepared to take it. Nyasa Bullets will feel a bit comfortable before the first whistle is blown, as they are leading going into this afternoon's encounter. 2-1, they lead from the first leg. Goes from Piri and Nigerian international, but Batunde gives them a slight advantage. On the other hand, Red Arrows, they've got all to play for this afternoon to change the narratives. A second round spot to secure and the fans to please. They have no any other options but to win. Otherwise, all the hard work and achievements seen during the off-season will all come down to nothing. What a big day, what a big ask for the host. Red Arrows. Nyasa Big Bullets, Amaule, as they are known. Those are the faces of the officials. Of course, the center match referee will be El Mubarak Mohammed from Libya. Assistant referee, first assistant referee, Will Hanachi from Tunisia. Second assistant referee, Mohamed Dohai from Tunisia. And the fourth official is Nadel Ben Lati from Tunisia as well. Match commissioner all the way from Namibia is Shulinga Trust. So those are the names for the officials for the game this afternoon. Red Arrows looking very sharp and ready. Charles Karumba leading the photo pose there for the host. A lot is expected of him. Did some greater good serve there. Some runs there from Aaron. And the two liners to starting with the host, Charles Karumba in goal. Peter Kalota on the left, of course, Muvili Nixon. In the middle of the pack, Onyumbe comes in with the captain of the side, Pokatema. Up front, they'll be banking on the experience and the scoring machine in Ricky Banda. On the subs bench, Tembo, Zulu, Saddam Yusuf Piri also starts on the bench as it was in the first leg. Quite some experience there we see in the Red Arrows substitute bench. And the Nyasa Bullets, Chivamba starts in goal. Nyasulu, Senaji, Chirwa, and of course in the middle of the pack. They go with 5 players in the middle of the pack, comprised of Chio, Piri, and Billiard as well comes in. Babatunde will be leading up front. Simbi, Willard, and of course Willard is starting this afternoon. Of course could be some mistake from our technical point of view. Coach Mulingi, what do you make of the two substitutions over the two sides, and of course the changes that has been made?
Of course, the change in personnel, Brian, entails
so the two coaches are the Chisimbewe, the head coach, and of course Kadililo Kakonje, first assistant from Zambian international. The noise, the energy is already up there. Yes, Coach Mulingi, what do you make of the two lineups this afternoon?
Of course, the changes in the lineups entail
Coach Tito Pasua, a Zimbabwean international, 54 years of age, quite experienced coach there. As you continue to give us, what do you make of the two lineups Indeed. Here we go. It's a starter of what can promise to be an interesting encounter between the two sides. To be with you in the next 90 plus minutes, I'm Brian Wheeler Jr., BMJ, alongside Kengo Musioka Mulingi, our commentary box match analyst this afternoon. Your expectation and over this particular game, of course, in regards to how and what the two coaches have been able to put across in terms of the lineup, Mulingi.
Yeah, of course, the two coaches are coming into this encounter, Brian, with two different ambitions. Of course, for Nyasa Bullets, the approach should be that of just trying to slow down the game a bit, try to see if they can find loopholes, especially in the middle of the park, to just pick on their quick players so that probably they get a quick goal. They are leading already from the first leg, so the expectation is that they will just try to stifle everything that Red Arrows will throw at them. For Red Arrows themselves, a quick goal or two would actually put them on equal foot as far as this particular encounter is concerned, so that probably they can grab a winner and progress to the next round of the CAF Champions League.
Indeed, remember to do share this live stream. We're more than glad also to hear from you. Give us your feedback as far as how this live broadcast is, and of course to give us your expectations as well as predictions in as far as this game is concerned. We are underway here in Osaka's Heroes Stadium. We do value your viewership so far. Quite a good number of you. Now back to the game. It's Red Arrows who's looking to settle. Of course, Bulaya starts this time around. Twin striking with Ricky Banda. There's an aggressive approach from Kochisimbewe Mulingi.
Yes, a clear statement, Brian, a clear indicator that they would fancy a quick goal, like I said earlier. That is why they've gone for a 3-5-2 formation. That sees Derek Bulaya pairing with the goal scorer from last week's encounter in Blantyre in Ricky Banda.
Wait to see how the two players will be able to work together. Obviously, it's the first time that we are seeing them being partnered. It's an aggressive now opportunity for Ricky Banda, but obviously the ball there quite a little bit faster than him. Chibamba who collects that one without any hesitations and difficulties. It's a noisy Heroes Stadium. We expect some good numbers to still come through as the game unfolds. Much support is expected to be that over the host, Red Arrows. There's one team with big and open eyes onto this game. It's one of Africa's best, TP Mazembe, just across the border here in the Congo DRC. They are watching this game with interest.
Definitely they are watching this game with interest, of course, knowing too well that the team that makes it beyond this particular round will be their likely opponent in the next round of the CAF Champions League. So I'm sure all eyes are on this encounter as far as Lubumbashi at the Stadio de Lankenya.
Onyumbe for Red Arrows to Alassane Diarra. Back to Onyumbe, who got injured last weekend, couldn't finish that game, and after he was substituted, it was observed that there are some gaps into the Red Arrows midfield and defense. It's Godfrey Ngwenya, formerly of Power Dynamos here in Zambia.
So now that's Godfrey Ngwenya, one of the best left-footed players in the Zambian league. Just trying.
It's a good one. So the captain there, as well as is that Ngwenya? Yes, rising up, trying to meet up with the ball, but not so quick in anticipating.
Yes, I think he jumped high enough, but his header lacked that much needed direction.
This is a good chance. Offside, says the second assistant referee, rather, Karumba Charles, formerly of Prison Leopards. Considered 2 goals in the first leg. Wouldn't want to concede any. Red Arrows needs to win by all costs. A 2-0 lead will guarantee them a place in the second round of this competition.
A 1-0 win would also guarantee them, considering that CAF is still using the away goal rule. They did get a goal in Blantyre, so that might play to their advantage.
Very much right, Coach Mulingi. Kind of a slow start from the hosts. Saddam Yusuf Piri to Miche. Met with one brothers of ours from Malawi this morning, Muringi, and he did single out 2 players, talking of Diarra and Miche Malonga to be the threat in this afternoon's encounter against his favorite team, Nyasa Bullets.
Yes, I think when you look at the Red Arrow setup, Alassane Diarra has actually been one of the shining lights of this particular team. Everything that Red Arrows do is done through him, and we expect him to come to life this afternoon. We haven't seen much of him so far, as the 2 teams are just trying to size each other up, just trying to slow things down. But the moment Alassane Diarra explodes, Red Arrows will also explode.
It's a throw-in for the visitors, Nyasa Bullets. We do have only 2 white shirts in the penalty box. It's down here. Shot coming straight in the chest of Charles Karumba. That was a good shot from Sambani, the left back for the visitors, Nyasa Bullets. What a way to test the goalkeeper. Was that Sambani? Yes, it's Sambani.
Yes, I think what a shot, what a sweet left foot he has. Red Arrows will need to counter such kind of play as early as possible, because then these are very bad early signs, Brian, if we can allow a player of that sort to shoot from that distance.
Diarra inside the box, wins himself and for his team a corner. What a great start that we have here, Coach Mulingi. It's a end-to-end kind of stuff here.
Yes, I think Red Arrows are trying to show everyone that what Nyasa Big Bullets can do, they can do it better as they take this particular corner.
Saddam Yusuf Piri, the corner. Still Red Arrows in possession. A shot comes in, but it's a weak one from Chilimina Brian, formerly of Chirundu United. Chibamba yet to be seriously tested. The 26-year-old man with only, he's got actually 7 appearances in as far as the CAF Champions League is concerned. He's conceded 7 and only managed to keep 3 clean sheets. Chimbamba. Red Arrows trying to explore the left, the right side of the Nyasa's defense.
Yes, I think that is where they have seen that they can exploit the right side, because then Captain Gomeziani Chirwa for Nyasa Big Bullets has not shown us that he is up to the challenge so far.
A good chase by Precious Spirit, but it wasn't that good enough to actually get to catch that ball. Red Arrow starts all over again from the back. Second goal is international Michel Malonga Gesumo. Cut short by the left back Sambani. Michel, that's a good experience coming to play, as well as a confidence. We're yet to see the best of Derek in this game. Not much has been seen from him. Chirimina Brian. Ricky Banda has got a very good chest ball control. Alassane Jara. I thought the ball would go to the left, but very ambitious from Ricky Banda. I thought you would have passed that ball to Ngwenya. Alassane Jara. It's a good ball. Ricky Banda has got an opportunity here. Wins the corner. It's a fourth corner for Red Arrows, if I'm counting well.
Yes, I think at this point one would think that the teams are just trying to, they've continued trying to size each other. One would be forced to think that maybe a dead ball situation can actually break the deadlock as far as this encounter is concerned. Red Arrows, of course, have had a better share of these dead ball situations, especially from the right side of the Nyasa Bullets goalpost.
Those are the fans for the home side. Red Arrows. Okay, something bad could have happened to Chimbamba there. Isn't looking so good.
Isn't looking so good. I think, yes, he had a collision with Derek Bulaya there, as Derek was trying to just see if he could hit the ball past him. But I only hope, from the look of things, it isn't something that is serious, but Chimbamba Richard in Nyasa Bullets go would fancy such moments to just try and settle matters, just try and wither the storm that Red Arrows are slowly trying to build up. This is what I said earlier in the match build-up, that they would want to use each and every opportunity to just try and slow the game, Brian.
Exactly. Let's just get to check what our viewers are saying, Mulingi. It's in Njombe. Docton says from Ndilande. Okay, thank you. Go, BB. Thank you very much.
That is a replay. As you can see, I think he did go for the ball, but of course Derek Bulaya didn't have enough ideas to where the ball was, and he collided with the goalkeeper. He is now being treated by the team medics, even as El Mabruk Muhammad, the Libyan referee, looks on.
All right. Sir Carlo Amo says a great coverage. Thank you very much. Mark Martinez says, Jacob Martinez, thank you very much. Chico says, Bullets under pressure. We see Azele as well, thank you very much. Quite a number of you who continuing to give us your reaction towards this broadcast. Ponchelo Palele says, watching you live from Edigeni. These should be some townships from Malawi, I guess. Do have quite a number of Malawans watching this game, an opportunity for Red Arrows through Ricky Banda. Chimbamba comes out so strong. It's been very much a later, Chimbamba.
Yes, I think you expect a goalkeeper with his salt to be alert so early in this particular match. Remember that in modern football, goalkeepers are now regarded as the last men in the line of defense. That is why you need a goalkeeper that is not just agile and flexible in terms of reflex, but also someone that can help you play from the back.
Ngwenya is trying all what he can, but he's been put at bay by the likes of Chirwa. He's playing on the right side of the Nyasa Bullets defense. It's a bumpy ball for 1-1. Chirimina Brian. Ricky Banda, he needs to work all his lungs out if he's to get something. Time slowly winding out as well. It's 15 minutes played. It's a quarter of this game has come and gone. They still have a long way to go before Arrows can impress, and indeed before Nyasa Bullet can stand strong to defend their first leg lead. Onyombe. The two Congolese defenders, Michel Malonga. Ngwenya, too much for him. Nyasa Bullets regain possession and they'll pump it forward. The likes of Piri and Biliachis now. It's an opportunity for the visitors. They put in a shot, but it's a disappointing finish from a player who is expected to be scoring. Is that Mbambande?
I think Red Arrows will need to really play out of the Nyasa Bullets press. I did mention earlier on in the game that we expect Nyasa Bullets to keep pressing high up the pitch to see if Red Arrows can make a mistake, which Pokatema was almost making to gift Nyasa Bullets a go. Of course, that was not to be. But Babatunde disappointing his team there.
Wow, I don't know. It's Babatunde. No, we're watching a team from Malawi, so Mbambande is too much into my head.
Absolutely, absolutely. Mbambande is a name that is associated with Malawi. But of course, Babatunde is a Nigerian name. It means father has come. But in that situation, when he was gifted that ball by Pokatema, he didn't show any attributes of a father who has come to rescue his children.
So much alertness from the Nyasa Bullets goalkeeper. She's still coming on. You got to love how these Nyasa Bullets have grouped themselves, in the middle of the park as well as defensively, not giving chance to Red Arrows attackers to maneuver around.
Yes, I think they are sticking to the coach's game plan, and I'm sure Coach Pasua on the technical bench must be having his head high, because then the team has stuck to his tactical instructions. It has actually maintained its shape to say, when we are not in possession, let us try and close them down as quickly as possible so that they don't have that chance to play. That is why we haven't seen very much of Alassane Diarra.
I'm sure he's one of the players that has been well studied. This is one of the games that you feel you need some fluidity, players who can go around the defense, just try to break it apart. Just look around that area. Look, there was so much red shades, also so much too many white shades around outside the 18-yard box for the visitors. Now this is a good one. Ngwenya, he uses left. It's difficult for him to make a angle. Shoots. What a great save from Nyasa Lanza. Post stopper, short stopper.
What a let off there. What a let off. But I think there was a lot of ball watching in the Red Arrow setup, because then the angle was a bit tight for Ngwenya. He could have easily picked a man if someone had made a run to just try and connect the ball. But he saw that no one was making that vital run. That is why he tried to create a bit of some space for himself and shoot in the near post. But of course, Richard Chimbamba in the Nyasa Bullets goal was equal to the task.
That's a save that could see Nyasa Bullets advancing to the next stage. Should Red Arrows fail to score, Alassane Diarra doing what he knows best in the middle of the pack. So one player down for Red Arrows. It's not Onyombe, at least this is comforting. It's like a branch
neither is it Malonga.
It's Chilimina Brian. Wow, that was very harsh from Sambani.
I think that was a late challenge that should have caught the attention of the match officials, because a late challenge anywhere, any day warrants at least a verbal warning, if not a booking.
Indeed. Brian Chilimina, one of the Red Arrows defenders who's able to overlap and take on his fellow defenders.
I think look at his reaction. He really seems to be in great pain. Look at how he's clutching the playing turf. He must be in pain, and losing a player as vital as him. He has just come into the fore in the Red Arrow setup, replacing the ex-captain Berti Chepesh.
This is the earlier on missed opportunity by Red Arrows.
You can see, look at that space that a Red Arrows player could have exploited. None of them was committed to make that vital run, even when Godfrey Ngwenya went out wide on the right on his weaker right, but then he could have picked a spot, but there was no one to make. That's why he tried to kick the ball in the near post, but of course the goalkeeper was there to save.
More especially when the note is a left-footed player operating on the right hand side. The note was very difficult for him to use the right angle. He needed to cut in, and they never gave him that opportunity for him to have options as to where to pass the ball. There he is making a run again. You feel Bulaya really should have started this game, looking at how things have gone so far up front?
I think so far he hasn't shown the faith, he hasn't paid back the faith that the coaches have shown in him. But of course, Derek Bulaya is a player on his day. He is not a ball-playing player, but he is a player who, once he gets a chance or two, he will just bury them.
It's good to see Brian Chilimina back on the field of play after that knock from Simbani. Because Nyasa Big Bullet, this is the third game in 7 days that they're playing.
It is actually the third game in 6 days.
6 days.
They played on Sunday in the first fixture of this match. Then they were in cup action on Wednesday back home in Blantyre. And today they are actually in action here at Heroes Stadium. So it is 3 games in 6 days. What a gruesome test that they are being put to right now.
Yeah, one so fans of Red Arrows is still very optimistic, still very energetic and faithful that they should be able to get something out of this game. It's a good jumper from Precious Piri, one of the scorers in last week's game. Was actually the first scorer, got the equalizer for the Bullets before Mbambande completed the 2-1 scoreline. It's a good one. Saddam Yusuf Piri, they're calling for an offside, but the second assistant referee plays a blind eye to it. Ricky Banda, it was a bumpy ball. Red should be able to put the ball down in Mulingi, put the ball on the floor. It's a delaying tactics and antics from Richard. 0-0 is still the set of affairs here at Heroes Stadium. It's a CAF Champions League. Red Arrows up against Nyasa Big Bullets. The winner versus Tipi Mazembe, who for me should not really have the favorite in this particular game, because both teams really looks to be the same and looks to be at par in terms of performance and approach.
Yes, I think talking about TP Mazembe, Nyasa Big Bullets were actually knocked out of this particular tournament last year at the same stage by the same Tupuisan Mazembe that we are talking about. So they would really relish a rematch so that they can actually subject their opponents to revenge.
What a poor ball from Nixon Mubiri.
Doing a bad job of it there, Nixon Mubiri. He ought to just keep his cool, keep his head down, and play his usual game.
He's playing left back today. Also Peter Kalota on the bench.
Yes, because Red Arrows are actually playing a 3-5-2 formation. They have three defenders in Nixon Mubiri and the two Congolese, Onyumbe and Malonga.
Red Arrows are in a hurry to put the ball forward, in the process losing possession. Ulaya Derek losing that tussle there. Now it's Billiards. Started on the bench in the last game. So the coach got other plans for this one. Because at any other given time they would love to take advantage of the three defenders. It's the same formation that Nyasa Bullet started with back in Malawi. Now it's the opposite. It's because Red Arrows are under pressure. They need to win this game and they need to score now. It's 26 minutes past gone at first half. It's still in search of that opener. They've shown that it's a team that wants it the most, but really they haven't really shown it to the expectations of many fans that have come to witness how this game is panning out here in Lusaka. Set of coaches, including the team manager there, Siamui. It's foul against the host, Red Arrows.
Yes, I think. How does that become a foul against Red Arrows, Brian? If I may ask, when you look at the replay, you would think the opposite should have actually been the case. But of course, the assistant referee from Tunisia had a different view, considering that he is nearer to where the incident actually happened.
Ulaya Derek. Obviously, Ricky Banda did not anticipate the defender to have missed that particular ball. But as a striker, you need to be alert at any time.
Yes, I think you ought to factor in any eventuality, and that is what makes a striker a world-class player in such situations.
Losing possession cheaply. It's Red Arrows. It's a good one from Precious Piri. The good run to reach, but cut short by the Red Arrows defense. Wena to Mubiri. Katema Po. Back to Ngwenya. Michel Malonga Gesumo. Chilimina Brian. Saddam Yusuf Piri, captain of the side. Derek Ulaya is not having it any easy. Ulaya. Obviously, the twin striking formation that Kochisi has put across not really working good. You'd feel a substitution would be vital at this point, Muni.
Yes, I think the twin striking has actually contributed to the imbalance that it has actually brought in the lineup. That is why, if you have seen the past 10 minutes, Red Arrows have actually been making breakdowns in very, very dangerous areas. If they were playing against a more clinical opponent this afternoon, we could have been talking about a different story.
That's a good ball from the captain, Brian Chilimina. He's got a chance to make. It's too much for him. That's why he finds players like Akim Mumba. Of course, Brian Chilimina overlapping from defense.
Yes, I think talking about Akim Mumba, you would expect that he might just be introduced at some point in this match to just add that extra firepower and pace to this particular game, because 29 minutes played so far, we haven't had much in terms of moments in this particular game, apart from the long range shot that Precious Sambani had, which was saved by goalkeeper Charles Kalumba in the Red Arrows goal.
Half an hour mark gone. Still 0-0 here. It's at Lusaka's National Heroes Stadium. The pressure is on the host, but obviously they'll be a little bit comforted that even in the last game, they waited until the second half for them to score through Ricky Banda. And they've been such a team. We saw it even in the game against the Younger, but it's a shot that comes in. No one expected that.
Of course, that was a very dangerous ball in there. It just lacked the direction. Otherwise, Red Arrows should be worried of this particular Nyasa Big Bullets team that is also trying to cut them off guard by shooting from afar. And I'm sure that is an instruction from Coach Pasua.
So that was a very good shot from Willard. Just needed a little bit of a redirection. So Ngwenya, you will always have some good ball controls from him, but wasted some seconds with that one there. Red Arrows need to find the chemistry up front. Things really not seem to be working. The Zimbabweans, they've also come not knowing which sides they're supporting. Is it the sides of their coach, the coach of Nyasa, who is their countryman?
That would be interesting to note which side they are taking. But I believe they are neutral. They've just come here to enjoy a battle between two of their brothers.
They are just showing us that Zimbabwe is being represented as well, regardless of who is playing and which country the two teams represent. You see the numbers of Nyasa players around the Red Arrows players. It's just so difficult for them to pull through and find those little pockets in the Nyasa defense.
Yes, I think so far things seem not to be going Red Arrows' way. They seem to have just lost a bit of some coordination between their midfield as well as their attack. We haven't seen that much needed spark that a game of this magnitude lacks.
Tiara Ngwenya. See how they're backtracking. This look like an handball, but the Libyan referee says play on. Pressure spirit. Some good exchange of passes with Willard there. Captain of the side, Saddam Yusuf Piri. He's got an option, he decides to shoot. Well, the execution could have been bad, but the idea I think was good because everyone thought he was going to pass the ball, but sometimes it's good to catch your opponent off guard.
Yeah, but I think he wasn't going to have it his way in that area, considering that the Kenyan Clyde Senanji in the Nyasa Bullets defense was actually kept his eyes on the ball. So he knew very well to say, if I try to close him down, he will try and shoot. And as he shoots, I'll just block. And that's exactly what the Kenyan defender has done. He has just outwitted Yusuf Saddam. Now, Red Arrows will really need to take advantage of Saddam. There is a replay. Was that a handball? It did hit his hand, but of course, I think the hand was it in its natural position.
Natural position indeed.
No penalty, if you may ask me, Brian.
I think that's a right call from the Libyan referee.
You can look at that.
It's a hard push, Pokatema. Scored the ball. Pressure spirit. Babatunde.
What was that, Brian? I thought that was a back pass, and you can see the technical bench for Nyasa Bullets actually protesting to say that was actually a back pass, and the rules say that when a defender passes the...
It's a good one! A shot from nowhere. Ricky Banda. That's a good one, Coach Mulingi. Who thought a shot could come from there? Would have been a very beautiful goal from Arrow's top man, Ricky Banda.
Yes, I think we expect to see more of such moments, Brian, as the game progresses, because Red Arrows seem not to find the right formula to just penetrate the Clyde Senanji-led Nyasa Big Bullets defense. So trying from such distances, remember earlier on Nyasa did the same. So Arrows are only showing Nyasa that they can also come to the occasion and score from such distances.
Just such is confidence giving to Ricky Banda. Can he go again? That's a good one, Ulaya. But a good job done by Senanji in that difference. Ricky Banda is come up now. Ulaya Derek. It's a good one from nowhere. What a reflex from Chimbamba.
And what a reflex shot from Derek Ulaya. That is what I was trying to tell you earlier on about the little that I know about Derek Ulaya. He is not a ball-playing striker. He is a player that you give a meter, he will take a mile and punish you. He was almost punishing the Nyasa Bullets setup there, Derek Ulaya.
Red Arrow seems to have come up alive now. The past 2 minutes or so.
Yes, as you can see, Ricky Banda did enough to shoot the ball. The Nyasa Bullets defense couldn't clear their lines in a reflex type of a shot. But of course, thanks, Red Arrows are bit by bit building confidence. We still have a few minutes to play before the end of the first half. We might just see a goal, especially from the host team.
It's a good cross coming in from Nixon Mubiri, but 2 players closing in Bulaya. That's Senanji as well as Nyansuru. One piece of defense from this Big Bullet side.
Bit by bit, Red Arrows seem to find their rhythm going. They've had a better share of possession in the past 5 minutes or so. They've tried to create something out of nothing. They've tried to create reflex shots, as we saw from Derek Ulaya. It hasn't worked out for them so far, but at the rate they are moving right now, we might just see them breaking the ice.
Okay. If you've noticed, Mulingi, actually Ricky Banda, for me he plays well when he drops, and that's what Coach Simbeo has done. Ricky Banda has come a little bit inside, and he's good when it comes to the ball control. He holds on and trying to find, open play, trying to find a player who is in the spaces, and that's what he started to do. And that's the more reason why we've seen Red Arrows coming a little bit more aggressive in the past few minutes.
And that's what we call tactics, Brian. Sometimes you do not need to make an external change in order to change the rhythm of your team going forward. And in an internal one, just tell Ricky Banda to just drop a bit so that Derek Ulaya remains as the main striker. Join him up wherever we have the ball. And that is what we are seeing happening right now. Red Arrows are bit by bit building up play from the middle of the park, trying to just find if they can create those inroads to find the much needed goal at this juncture.
And all they need is a goal to unlock this Nyasa Bullets defense. They're sitting a little bit, sitting back a little bit. They know they've come into this game with the lead. 0-0, state of affairs. 40 minutes, it's come and gone. 5 plus few seconds to play for. Now, Babatunde. He takes it wide to where Billiard is. Tapokatem and company does a good job. It's actually Babatunde and Billiard, yes. The combination looks to be working very well between the two.
Yes, but I think we haven't seen very much of Babatunde. But I think Red Arrows should be wary of the darting runs that Stanley Billiard is enjoying on the right side of the attack. I think Nicky Mubili will really need to up his game in order to stifle those attacks that are coming from his side.
Is it a free kick or a throw-in for the visitors? Or a drop ball?
It is actually a throw-in. They are taking their time. They know very well that at this juncture they do not need to allow any goal, as we are only remaining with 5 minutes to go. These are the tactical instructions that are coming through, I'm sure. And having experienced players like Senanji, they know what is at stake, especially at this point when a game reaches this stage in terms of time. This is where teams tend to concede.
On your picture, it was coach Christopher Pasua. Of course, born on 20th June 1970, and is a former of Dynamos, a team that he helped winning 4 consecutive Zimbabwean Premier League between 2011 and 2014.
Yes, what an experienced gaffer, the Mutare-born coach for Nyasa Bullets, Kaliso Pasua. Very experienced coach. He had a stint with the Zimbabwean national team. So he is a coach that has the much needed experience.
Of course, a very, very experienced coach indeed. He's a 2012 Zimbabwe Premier League Coach of the Year, Bulaya.
And talking about his former side,
now Chirimina Brand can shoot from there. Nothing is working for Red Arrows thus far.
Nothing thus far. Talking about Dynamos of Zimbabwe, the team that was, look at that, miscommunication a bit.
Slowly coming to an end of this first half, with only 2 minutes to play, plus the 4th match official additional time. Red Arrows under pressure, they need to win. And nothing has worked out for them so far. Too much from Ngwenya, from Michel, captain of the side, not so happy. He's telling him, let's play, let's knock the ball, as opposed to do that to whom it might concern kind of play. Red Arrows are a ball-playing team. Of course, this live match broadcast is brought to you courtesy of USTV, your number 1 online sports channel. Amene ali kutambira kuchokera ku Malawi. Tikupempani kuti muchite like na follow page yatu, anso muchite share ngati kapena kugawanisa ino live stream kuti anzanu na onso angate kutamba ngati mwamene muli kutambira. Ni mpira waukulu maningi ili pakati ya Red Arrows ndi Nyasa Bullets. Mahule ngati mporoporo mu chitundu cha Mzambia. Of course, Mahule means bullets. And that's Malawi Nchewa.
Malawi Nchewa, yes. They are also known as the People's Team. Malawi's most successful team of all times. 18 league champions under their belts. 45 major trophies to their name. They are not a team. They are not a pushover of a team. I think so far, 44 minutes played, they have shown us that they are not a pushover. They have held on to their own. They have kept their tactical discipline. They have kept their structure, and they are taking Red Arrows punch for punch.
They are also a minimum of 2 minutes has been added. Nyasa Bullets also runners up of the Kagame Sekafa Cup, the competition that Red Arrows just won a few weeks ago. This one looks like a draw for this first 45 unless something special comes up. Ngwenya has been busy. It's Nixon actually. What would Ricky Banda do for him to score? Richard Chibamba has been equal to the task, leaving nothing to chance this afternoon. If Nyasa Bullets are to qualify, Chibamba will be on top of it.
2 good saves to his name in this first half. One from, look at that, what a ball in. The Nyasa Bullets defenders were ball watching, but of course the goalkeeper is always the last man in the line of defense. He did what is expected of an experienced head like him, and that is how, when you look at the scoreline right now on your screen, it is 0-0 due to that brilliant save by Richard Mbambani, or Richard Chimbamba.
Wow, this just shows why he's had the 3 clean sheets in this particular competition. Of course, this is his 8th appearance in as far as CAF Champions League is concerned. Red Arrows, they've done what they can in the first half, but to no avail.
What a goalkeeper he is, Richard Chimbamba in the Nyasa.
Wow, now this is a mistake and an opportunity, a push from Onyumbe. What's the referee saying?
You think that was simulation,
Simulation?
Brian, and simulation must attract a yellow card from the referee. So says the book rule.
Okay. Mubarak Mohammed from Libya has blown for the first half, for the end of first half. And indeed, it has been an interesting first 45. The 2 teams haven't been able to find the back of the net so far. They wait to see what happens in the second half. Red Arrows will have a lot to say. Coach Simbewe, what a load that is on top of his head and of course his shoulders. They can only remain behind the beats as the captain addresses them. They need to talk, they need to agree, they need to plan, and they need to come up with a solution. Otherwise, things not looking so good for them so far. Mulingi, your summary and report card of the first half.
What a game we've had. It is new, Red Arrows new, Nyasa Big Bullets new here at Heroes Stadium, even as the 2 teams take the long walk to the restrooms. The game has seen quite a good number of moments from either side. I think the first one that we saw was a long a shot from distance by a shot from distance by the left back Sambani, but of course it accounted for nothing because Charles Kalumba in the Red Arrows goal was equal to the task. Red Arrows did find their rhythm going between the middle of the first half going towards the half-time mark, but of course they had a good number of chances which they couldn't utilize.
Okay. So these are the highlights for the first half. Shot that did come from Sambani.
Yes, Sambani the left back.
Of course, The pressure continued. This was a mistake by the vice captain. Actually gifted a ball to Nyasa Bullet, but Mbambatunde couldn't put that ball behind the net. Ngwenya with another opportunity, Mulingi. This could have been buried.
This could have been easily buried, but of course, I think for all their work this first half, I think Bullets should thank Richard Chimbamba in goal.
It was a miss by Nyansulu. It's Ricky Banda couldn't just anticipate that. And so those are the actions in summary for the first 45. And of course this one from Ricky Banda. What a shot. Just needed to be lowered a little bit. And he followed up with another header, Ricky Banda. A big thanks for you have been with us throughout the first 90. First 45 rather. First half has ended 0-0. Warm welcome to the second half of this interesting encounter between the two great teams of Zambia and Malawi. We're talking of Red Arrows, the Airmen, and Nyasa Big Bullets of Malawi. Coming into the second half with a new scoreline. Quite a lot to play for between the two sides. Of course, Red Arrows has got a bigger say to the many questions that have been asked. Well, coming back into the commentary box, Coach Mulingi, the second half is upon us. Very soon we'll be going underway. What is it that the two teams should be able to do in order to come out victorious this afternoon?
Yes, I think we expect a tactical shift, especially from the hosts. They tried to find their stride going forward the last 15 minutes of the first half. They just tried to see if they could get a goal or two, which wasn't the case because Richard Chimbamba in the Nyasa Bullets goal has been excellent this afternoon. So of course for now we expect that the coach will try to probably just add a bit of some dimension to his setup by introducing a wide speed striker in the mouth of Akimumba to just try and stretch the Nyasa Bullets defense, because at this point you are able to see that the defense that is led by Kenyan international Senaji as well as Nixon Nyasulu has stood tall. They have been equal to everything that Red Arrows has thrown at them. So it is time that Coach Chisimbewe and his charges try to stretch a bit the defense by introducing a wide player, especially on the right side of the Nyasa defense, where we have seen that Gomezian Chirwa hasn't been putting in a good shift. So Red Arrows can try and exploit that. For Nyasa Bullets, I expect them to just stick to their tactical approach, just try to force Red Arrows to play the ball high up, so that then they know they have the two defenders that can just head the ball away, and they will try and stick to their game plan.
Tactical changes and approach is what Coach Mulingi has just talked about here. We wait to see what Coach Chisimbewe has been able to put up across in as far as the second half is concerned. Of course, they've been very good when it comes to scoring in the second half in the recent past. We hope this is the case Muhammad Mubarak from Libya, ready to getting us underway for the second half of this very, very interesting encounter. Attention, attention. It's what is being mentioned here. All eyes on the ball. Time to reflect and see what is remaining over the two sets of players, most especially the Red Arrows side, signaling the OK sign in readiness to kickstart the second half. Of course, very much in a hurry is Aaron. Only now that he can kickstart and take us underway for the second 45. Brian Wheeler Jr. is my name to be with you for this second half. And of course, once again and officially welcoming you back and our able match day commentary analyst Coach Kengo Musyoka Mulingi. Welcome back.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Second half is upon us, and indeed it's a half that will ask a lot from Red Arrows. The same can be said about the visitors. They need to sit on this lead that they have, that they are enjoying currently, and obviously, if anything, add up at least a goal just to settle things.
Yes, I think Nyasa Bullets, they are just trying to find the inroads in the Red Arrows defense, but of course at this point they haven't really shown like a team that would want to go out and attack. They are approaching this particular match with a very cautious game plan. So far, so good for them, because then they haven't conceded a goal, and they would feel hard done by at this juncture if they were to concede one.
It's indeed quite a number of games that are being played across the continent this afternoon, and we should be able to bring you up to speed as far as the updates in other games are concerned. Ngwenya going around the three defenders, and he breaks loose. Go to Alassane Jara, the Mali international, has got 2 beats, still going strong. Ngwenya, the chemistry seems to be working very well between the two players. No changes has been made so far from the two sides. A cross comes in. Wow! It's upright. It's still an opportunity for Red Arrows. What a chance! What a way to start the second half, Mulingi.
Yes, Red Arrows seem to start the second half where they ended the first. What a chance. I don't think the goalkeeper had any idea of where the ball was going. He was ball watching, and his team could have easily been punished.
Red Arrows has been knocking on Nyasa's door, but
look at that. I do not think the goalkeeper had any idea as to what was happening there, because then he was ball watching. But of course, for the second battle of the chair, I think the defense came to the rescue of Nyasa Bullets.
They need to get that early goal, because that will somehow unlock this defense.
When we say Red Arrows are a second half team, we really mean it. Just a fortnight ago, they dispatched off a well-drilled Kai Warriors side by scoring all the 4 goals in the second half. So Nyasa Bullets must be very much worried of this Red Arrow side at this juncture.
And so elsewhere, it's a Ethiopia Bank one and the CS Villa when this game was played yesterday, and currently El Merek and the Nyasa. El Merek leading by 1-0. Galaxy of Botswana and the African Stars of Namibia still 0-0, as is the case here. Ngwenya. Now opportunity for Ngwenya to score. A little bit slow there. Ricky Banda. It's a bumpy ball around the penalty box.
What a game we are having on our hands, Brian. The second half has really Red Arrows attacking through Derek Bulaya. He crosses in, not a good ball, I must say, but of course it was enough to find Ricky Banda, who played it to Ngwenya, who couldn't find. It was a goal-mouth melee, but at the end of the day, I think Lloyd Aaron came to the rescue of Nyasa Bullets.
And when I think he's a little bit slow in reacting, that's why the problem is he has to make sure that he puts the ball to his left and then losing some seconds in the process. If only he can be a little bit quicker, that can be very helpful.
I did talk earlier on about Red Arrows just adding a little bit of pace to their setup, and this is what I meant because at this point, as you can see, Nyasa Bullets look fatigued. Remember, we did mention that earlier in the week they had a game. They have played 3 games in 6 games, and I think bit by bit fatigue is creeping in. So it is at this point where now Red Arrows will really need to keep their heads high to try and add some impetus going forward to try and get that vital goal that they need this afternoon.
It's only a goal that Red Arrows needs to progress to the next round. Tipi Mazembe anxiously and patiently waiting. The likes of Michel Malonga and Onyumbe, they will be happy to play against their countrymen. In Tipi Mazembe, Alassane Diarra going around the defense, is in the box, brings in a cross. Ricky Banda was waiting in anticipation, but was well kept at bay by the Nyasa defense. The likes of Michel. Now Red Arrows needs to be careful because they've committed numbers up front and they need to be wary of how they are leaving their defense line. It's a good one. Bulaya almost chipping in, direct connection from across Mulingi.
Just needed that extra touch, Brian. One would think it was a good ball in the Nyasa Bullets box, but the touch was made, but not good enough to give trouble to Richard Chimbamba in the Nyasa goal.
Now Nyasa defenders being put at work here. They have to sweat a bit for their money if they are to get something tangible and positive out of this game. The likes of Senanji, Nyasulu, Shirwa the captain, and Simbani.
Not forgetting Willard in that defensive midfield setup. I think he has been the water carrier. He has done all the dirty work to just try and stifle the movements for Red Arrows. And that is why now you see Red Arrows trying to just pump the ball behind the defenders.
It's another wow. Ricky Banda, where he's expected to do the best, he's done the worst. He's just near to note the ball downwards. And I don't think Chimbamba was going to have any chance catching up with that ball.
Yes, I think it's almost working for Red Arrows. They have actually identified a grey area in this Nyasa defense. It was outstanding the first 20 minutes, but I think bit by bit it has started showing signs of fatigue and signs of crumbling after all.
Michel could have delivered that ball. The first place, but trying to play some cheek game. It's another loss of possession.
I think Red Arrows ought to keep it very simple. Let them not try to over-exaggerate. We have seen their weakest link this afternoon, Brian, if you were to ask me, has been their vice captain Pokatema in the middle of the park. He hasn't had the greatest of games. He hasn't had the greatest of games. He has been caught off guard on a number of occasions such that his team could have been punished. So at this point, I think giving him a different role, or better still substituting him so that Onyumbe just moves a bit into midfield to give an extra edge in terms of the front line. This is what can work for Red Arrows at this point, in my opinion, Brian.
Do you also have Ibengo on the bench who can come up and change things?
There is Ibengo.
Number of
Aki Mumba is also James Chamanga with all his years of experience. So I think when you look at the Red Arrows bench, I think it is one of the richest benches that you ever want to have as a coach. It has space, it has experience, it has a dead ball specialist in Ebengo. So it has everything that can win you a game on match day.
It's a good one from Ulaya. And of course, down there we're seeing, I think, Chipanuka being warmed up.
Yes, I think this is what I mentioned earlier. They are trying to catch... look at that. The ball control was exquisite. The turn, the shoot, though it lacked direction. This is what we need to see more of this Red Arrow side. If they were to get anything out of this particular encounter, Brian.
Chisimbewe, the Zambian national team coach as well. Still 0-0, 55 minutes gone. Red Arrows need to do some magic. It's the alertness from the goalkeeper. That's something that needs to be applauded. Otherwise, even 3 goals could have been gone past him. Very quick with his hands.
Very quick with his hands, of course. The best performing player this afternoon by a mile in this particular encounter.
Ngwenya has been bringing those crosses. He's been doing all what he can. For how long would this go without a goal?
Yes, I think the Nyasa Bullet defense has started showing signs of weary. They look so tired, they look so fatigued, and it is time that Red Arrows took advantage of this situation and register a goal that will propel them.
So it's so Derek Ulaya has been withdrawn for Angels, for Manchanga Rangers, then another Congolese international. So they're adding more numbers up front. But for me, I feel Mulingi, they need that creative play again. It's not all about adding strikers up front. I think Ricky Banda has been doing the best, only that hasn't yet been able to find the back of the net.
I would have thought at this point they would have just tried to add a bit of some pace to their striking force. Earlier on I did say that Bullets defense is looking very tired.
Now it's an opportunity. Hesitation for Angels. What was he waiting for? It would have been a very welcoming moment for him.
What an introduction that could have been for Angel Lubemba.
A good cross from Nixon Mubili. Miscommunication between the goalkeeper and Nyasuru. Lumbamba.
I think the defense just did enough to clear off that goal on the line. No doubt that ball was going in. It would have easily been Red Arrows 1, Nyasa Bullets 0, but for the clearance by Precious Sambani. He lies down, signaling that he is in pain. He is being attended to the medics right now, even as his teammates look on.
So good to know that most of you have joined us. Oscar Caleb, thank you very much. Luthando, thank you very much as well. Enelesi Nyoela, rather, thank you very much as well. Peter Comfort Chilipa, Fraxon, Mahocha, and many of you, Yoma School, we see you, as well as Chisinsi Zwanie. Appreciate your viewership. Remember to share this live broadcast, as well as don't forget to like this page. A shot from Nixon Mubere, that's too much. Time ticking.
Everyone at Red Arrows is going forward. you wouldn't expect in a normal game a player of Nixon Movili's caliber finding himself in such dangerous position. This clearly shows you how desperate they are for at least an icebreaker this afternoon. Of course, he does a very bad job of it, Nixon Movili. He must be hitting his head high to say why.
Angel Luwamba, Alassane Diarra has been in the thick of things this afternoon. He's explored that defense very well and he's almost finding the solution. Only time can tell. Ricky Banda slowly dropped down. So now a mark has come and gone. 30 minutes remaining. It's a corner for the home side. It's the time that they need the morale from the fans, and indeed it's time that they need to encourage each other. Saddam Yusuf Piro with a corner. Can this one result into anything positive? Richard comes out strong. And on the other side is Bambatunde coming to do the defense all the way from the striking department.
Yeah, I think at this point they would really want to keep every man behind the ball. From the 15 minutes that have been played so far, they have been pushed high up the field. They haven't been given any sniff of the ball by Red Arrows. It has all been Red Arrows throughout. So the instruction now is that let everyone, when Red Arrows have the ball, let everyone of the Nyasa Bullets players be behind the ball. Whether you are a striker or you are a midfielder or more so a defender.
So Willard has been withdrawn. Of course, there's a Pokera who comes in for Willard. Blessings Pokera is a centre back, also plays as a defensive midfielder. The 22-year-old man brings in his experience.
Blessings Pokera, scorer of one of the goals when Nyasa Bullets played in midweek in the FDH Cup, right in Blantyre against Moyale Barracks. He comes in to replace Frank Willard in a like-for-like type of a substitution. Willard has played his socks off as far as this game is concerned. So now the coach has decided to bring in someone that can do what he has done in the same manner, but with fresher legs.
Of course, he comes in with double mentality in terms of his duties, because he plays as a center back, can also play as a defensive midfielder. So in this case, replacing Willard was also a defensive midfielder. So it's a defensive midfielder for another defensive midfielder.
I think they are trying to find solutions to just try and see how they can soak the pressure under which they've been the entire second half for so far, Brian.
Time and the clock ticking down. 0-0. It's the state of affairs. If you've just tuned in, we are at National Heroes Stadium in Lusaka, where Red Arrows are hosting Nyasa Bullets.
Time not on our side. Time not on the Red Arrows side, Brian.
Aggregate is Nyasa Bullets 2, Arrows 1. Only a goal for Arrows will see them through to the next round. Now it's billiards going on strong. Chirwa, the captain, Charles Karumba, does a good job.
He hasn't had a very busy afternoon compared to his counterpart in the Nyasa go Charles Kalumba. Brian, it must be it clearly shows how they treated him.
It's a penalty for the home side. A penalty has been given. What a moment for Red Arrows. Mubarak Muhammad from Libya, straight point to the penalty spot. Let's see what happens, Mulingi here. Angels goes wide and brings in a cross that seemed difficult. Wow. Ricky Banda, if we can have that replay again, just request our director. It looks like Aaron is at the center of everything. Of course, they do not agree with it. So that's Angel Mulingi.
I think there are two things here, Brian. On second look,
it's actually Nyasulu.
It's actually Nyasulu, yes. The ball seemed to have gone off the goal line before Angel Luwemba just whipped it in. But at the end of the day, again, when you look at the contact between Nyasulu and Ricky Banda, you would see that there was a bit of some simulation, if you had to ask me. To me, on another day, that will never be a penalty, Brian, truth be told.
We continue with the analysis, but now it's Piri against Richard Chimbamba. Saddam! It's it! Red Arrows goes in front. The captain taking responsibility. Of course, it has erupted here at Heroes Stadium. Arrows goes in front with 66 minutes played so far. Nyasa Bullet would feel hard done. We have a game on our hands now, Mulingi.
Absolutely. I think at this point, this is exactly what Red Arrows needed. They needed that much needed lift, which they have gotten in form of a dead ball situation. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. This is a definition of a captain. When the chips are down, the captain just shows up and puts his team ahead. Saddam Yusuf Piri puts Red Arrows ahead from the penalty spot. It is Red Arrows, red hot Red Arrows 1, Nyasa Big Bullets 0. If it ends like this, Red Arrows are through to the next stage of the CAF Champions League. What a game, what a moment for Red Arrows.
We wait and see what Coach Klisto will be able to. What's the penalty earlier on? Saddam, cool, calm and collected.
He had finally Chimbamba has been beaten in.
But it has to come on through the penalty spot. What is it now for the Nyasa Bullets? Red Arrows needs to take things slow. The first card of the match goes to the vice captain, Paul Katema. They need to take control of themselves. They need to cool down. The next 5 minutes will be very critical and crucial, Muling.
Yes, I think for Red Arrows, they have been looking for this goal for the past 65 minutes run. They have gotten one. It is a goal that can actually push them to the next round. It is time that they slow things down and see off this particular game. If they can get a bonus goal, a second this afternoon, that would be great. But for now, let them protect that which they already have beforehand. A bet in hand is better than two in the bush, so they say.
The yellow card is against Ngwenya. Scoop from Charles Kadumba, using his height advantage to the great effect. We criticized the introduction of Angels Luamba, but I think he's come on with some energy. There he goes again. He brings in a cross. You don't go in like that, Red Arrows attackers. You need to anticipate the speed and the angle of the bombing.
Yes, I think at that point you expect that one of the strikers will try and run in the near post, whilst the other one tries to cover the far post. But of course that was not the case. That is why they are giving enough room to the Nyasa Bullets defense to just clear their lines. They really need to come up with plan B if they were to get a second goal, Brian.
Angel Lumbaba. So it's a good one. The likes of Saddam. So another substitution for the visitors.
Yes, I think Coach Pasua is looking for a reaction from his charges. He is making these substitutions to just try and see if they can respond to what Red Arrows has been throwing at them, especially in the second half of this particular encounter here at Heroes Stadium.
Nyasa Bullets, can they come back? Still a lot more of minutes remaining before this game can be put to bed. 20 minutes plus. Angels is taking up the responsibility on the right wing so effectively. He knows how to cut in and brings in those crosses to find the likes of Ricky Banda.
Funny to note, there is a facet of Angel Luemba's game that I have not seen hitherto, Brian. I've seen him play from Frida Wanderers, City of Lusaka, and Changa Rangers, and now Red Arrows. Little did I know that he has the pace. Of course, he has brought in two characteristics that are so vital at this point. He has brought in the pace. He has also brought in the strength and the physique that you would need going forward when you are playing a game of this magnitude and at this point when everything else seems to be playing in your hands.
Exactly, Mulingi. Little did I know as well that he can actually operate as a winger. I thought he was a centre forward, a natural centre forward.
Yes, of course, that is what experience can bring you, Brian.
Not so free and happy faces that we've seen on the Red Arrows benches. They know a goal from Nyasa Bullet will complicate things further.
They know this game is far from being over, Brian.
Nyasa Bullets now, they need to come out of their shell.
I think at this point, you think goalkeeper Charles Kalumba would just try to keep his cool and just try to kill off the rhythm of the game a bit. They have a goal that they've looked out for the entire afternoon. So no need for him to rush through things here at Heroes Stadium, Brian. But of course,
so we know Nyasa Bullet will come at them, and what is Mubarak saying? He says, plays on of Nyasa. This is to the dismay of Nyasa Bullet's faithful.
He's not interested, Mubarak, Brian.
Ricky Band has got a defender to beat. He brings in a short cross. Alassane Diarra. Was it the issue of anticipation, or the angle wasn't just right for him?
I think it is the issue of anticipation. At that point, you expect a player who is as level-headed as Alassane Diarra to just slide in and bury the ball. What a pass from Ricky Banda. He is a striker, and at that point you would expect he would have actually shot at goal himself. But he thought it best that Alassane Diarra was in a better position. But of course, his midfielder has actually disappointed him this afternoon.
It's the vision from Ricky Banda. Had all the eyes to sports where Alassane Diarra was. Chirwa. Still going strong, Chirwa. It's dangerous moment for Red Arrows.
I think bit by bit, Nyasa Police come to realize that they can actually create something out of this particular game. Look at that attack. Malong did very well to shoot off the ball, to just give his goalkeeper a chance, Charles Kalumba in the Red Arrows goal.
Because Michel Malonga needs to be careful, never to allow himself to be in those situations again. Minutes to go. Ngwenya brought down. And it's a free kick for Red Arrows.
They seem not to be slowing down Red Arrows. I'm sure they would relish a second.
It's a good one. Ricky Banda does have a pace. Good clearance from Senanchi. Red Arrows haven't rested since scoring that penalty. Ricky Banda with an opportunity, cuts in, but reacting so slow, taking the ball back. It's a bad pass, I'm telling you. They need to be checking behind before making certain decisions, Red Arrows, especially at this moment.
There should be no room for error at this juncture from the Red Arrows setup. They have worked hard all afternoon, and you expect a team that has worked hard all afternoon to just yield the fruits and walk all the way laughing to their homes, having come back home with a fat yield, if you were to ask me.
Those of you just tuned in, it's 1-0 in favor of the home side, Red Arrows, and as things stand, they are heading to the next round. Coach Pasua, very experienced coach. Red Arrows preparing, I think it to be a double substitution. Off your camera, I can see, I think Chipanuka. Onyumbe to Charles Kalumba, Zambian international. Brian Chilimina, Sosola they call him. Red Arrows is still pushing hard, trying to get that second goal, which will comfortably, put them ahead, at least, just to be safe. Conceding at this particular moment will be a disaster for Red Arrows. Tempers playing high. Ricky Banda up against Aaron. Chirimina. Wow, this could be a very great mistake, but Angels hasn't done a good work, commits a foul in the process. So disappointing with himself.
It's actually a rolling ball, so it's the referee. You have to play it back. So
it has to be played back?
Absolutely.
minutes, and the captain is being withdrawn. Thomas Zulu and Shipanuka is a defensive midfielder and an attacking winger being introduced. Your interpretation of these substitutions, Mulingi?
Of course, Thomas Zulu comes in as a defensive midfielder to just try and close up those vital gaps that the Nyasa Bullets might try to exploit. At the same time, the coaches have decided to bring in young Anton Chipanuka, who brings in a different dimension to the game. He brings the pace, the skill, and the youth tribunals that you need at this particular time to just try and see if you can get a second goal and close up the game using the steel that Thomas Zulu brings to this particular midfield.
With 10 minutes remaining plus additional time, still a lot of time in a game of football, especially where you are narrowly leading. You know, a goal from the visitors will just make things worse for Red Arrows. They need to score a second goal. Ricky Banda is done the most this afternoon. Very hard working. First touch for Anton Shipanuka. Does that every single day. But his pass needs much to be desired. He needs to be very accurate with his passes, especially at this juncture, Mulengi.
Let him not be a busybody. His team is up by a goal. 10 minutes to go. The coaches have just brought him in. We know what he is capable of doing. He is capable of beating a man, 2 or even 3 on a good day. So let him just try to invite those defenders onto himself. Any contact on him, to just he falls down, to just try and kill off the tempo of the game. And I'm sure that is the instruction that the coaches have actually given him, Anton Shipanuka.
There is again Anton Shipanuka. Thomas Zulu with his first touch. Alassane Diarra. Shipanuka. He's got Sevani to beat, but he's overdoing it, Anthony.
I think that is the whole idea, to invite pressure on himself to the defenders. Any contact on him, the referee will, of course, Mabruk will actually blow for a free kick. Just try and kill off the rhythm of the game, and that is exactly what Red Arrows need at this point.
Now, Thomas Zulu is known for those long throw-ins, and this one looks like it. Straight into the body of the Nyasa defender, Brian Chilimina. Nyasa Bullets will try to launch an attack with Aaron. We've got 2 men forwards. The captain Chira with a cross. Desperate clearance from the captain Paul Katema. Still Nyasa Bullets, Chira searching for that important equalizer, which will see them through to the next round. Red Arrows living so dangerous. They're at the edge of the knife, or at the edge of the bridge, which is shaking, of course. Concentration is what needs to be put at play here. Chirwa. Aaron brings in a cross. Onyumbe should be disappointed with himself, Coach Mulengi.
Exactly. I think bit by bit, Nyasa Bullets are trying to see if they can find those vital pockets of space behind the Red Arrows defense. But of course, Onyumbe Cedric did not make a good use of it. But I think the touch was enough to just stifle that attack from Aaron Lloyd in the Nyasa Bullets setup.
Arrows needs to defend with their hearts. They need to defend with everything. Almost everyone for Arrows is back. And a cheek one. Aaron, can you bring in a cross? Yes, he does. Charles Karumba completely misses that one, but he'll be happy because it has gone out for a goal kick, and he goes down just to buy out some few seconds, a minute or so.
I think you expect that from a goalkeeper with Charles Karumba's salt. We saw that from his opposite number, Richard Chimbamba, before they considered that penalty in the 65th minute, trying to employ the same delaying antics. I think this is Charles Karumba's time to just try and kill off and soak off the pressure from Nyasa Big Bullets.
It's a desperate moment for both sides, especially for the home sides, Red Arrows. They don't need to sleep. Otherwise, it will be costly for them.
Desperate moments call for desperate measures, and that is what we are seeing right now.
It was a very good switch from the midfield where Chari Pokera is operating from. Now the likes of Chirwa has actually commanded the right flank from the back all the way up front. He's overlapping, and they've sent in, the likes of Bidat and Piri. They've gone a little bit inside just to add up numbers. Pokatema to Zulu. Anton Shipanuka should be able to stop that. Oh, yes, he does. Chidimina Brian. He's got an opportunity. Alassane Diarra. Can he shoot? Ricky Banda. It's a goal! Paul Pogba! PK Katema has put the airmen up front. It's a second goal, and to see them go to the next round. Celebration from the bench. Sadam, Chamanga, Tembo, name them. They've all come to celebrate, and now they can even afford to put in a dance. Left, right, center. Mulingi, what a day for the airmen. What a moment.
Absolutely, what a moment for Red Arrows. They have worked their socks off for this particular victory. They had a very terrible first half. Look at that. Nyasa Press couldn't clear their lines. Young Brian Chirimina moved in. Alassane Diarra to Ricky Banda. Ricky Banda seems not to want to score this afternoon. He lays it into the path of Paul Katema, and cometh the man, cometh the hour, cometh the man. Paul Pogba Katema puts the airmen in front. 2-0, red hot Red Arrows.
You know what, Mulingi? Paul Katema has just paid back what he owns to his team. He missed last week a sitter, a similar sitter that he scored this time around.
That is what players that are so experienced, that are born winners, that really has the zeal to try and succeed, to they raise to the occasion, and that is what Pokatema has actually done.
Ricky Banda, he knows how to bring the ball down. He's brought down, and a free kick on a very good position. He's urging the fans to rise up and cheer unless something happens. TP Mazembe will be hosted here, Mulingi, someday.
Can I ask you a question, Brian?
Please go ahead.
Where is Ciel Ebengo Ekoko? I've just remembered him because of that dead ball situation. Red Arrows have not had a good number of them this afternoon in that position. But this is where you expect. I only wish he was in this particular lineup this afternoon. But right now, he only has to do with a place on the substitute bench. Ebengo Okoko. He chips them quite well from such positions.
To be honest, I don't know who is going to take this one. In the absence of Ciel Ebengo Ekoko.
Probably Pokatema.
An opportunity for Red Arrows to make it 3. It's a free kick on a very handy position. Another substitution for the visitors. It's like Billiard is being withdrawn. Precious Piri, Stanjas Bana, Salima prepared to come on.
It's like it is Angel Wemba preparing to take this one. I'm sure he will relish a shot on target from such a distance, just about 27, 28 meters away from the goal Amen.
with a minute to go. Angels Lubamba. A disappointing one. That one will go out for a throw-in. At this time,
What a performance, what a game, what a performance by the Airmen.
a change will be effected. Precious Spirit, the scorer of one of the goals last week, has been withdrawn from Salima.
So I think a like for like substitution. Salima is also a speedy winger, and
Remember, they just need the goal to push this game to extra time.
yes, absolutely, and they would think it's not yet over until Mubarak blows to signal end of the match. Otherwise, as long as it's still playing, they still feel they have a chance for a goal.
So 5 minutes that has been indicated by the fourth match official. Still a long way to go, Mourinho.
Still a long way to go, but of course, at this point, Red Arrows will just try and slow things up.
It's a good run from Thomas Zolo. Puts in a cross. Angels.
I think what a trump card of a substitution that the Red Arrows technical bench have had. I think the introduction of Angel Luwemba has actually been the game changer this afternoon. Look at the way he is running with the ball, trying to whip in those crosses in the dangerous areas.
Well, off camera, as you were just analyzing that replay, Red Arrows almost got a third goal.
Absolutely, they almost got the third goal, but for the alertness of Chimbamba in the Nyasa Bullets goal.
Red Arrows, they've got 4 minutes to progress to the next round. And they are visitors. Nyasa Big Bullets. They've got equal number of minutes to push this game at least to the extra time. They just need a goal. Just a goal to complicate things here at Heroes Stadium.
At the rate we are moving, I don't see anything of that sort happening. Coach Chisimbewe and his team have done enough. They wouldn't want to put themselves in such a precarious situation. They have worked hard all afternoon for this victory. Well-deserved victory, I must say, and they must have one eye on the next round at this point.
This is the time when they need to keep possession, these Red Arrows. Nothing to worry about. Likes of Onyumbe should have just taken the ball back to the goalkeeper. No hasty measures at this moment. Nyasa Bullet will feel so disappointed after playing so well. Red Arrows, time is of a great essence. But when the ball goes out, it's to their advantage, Muling, isn't it?
Of course, as long as it is not in the field of play at this point, it is to the advantage of the host team, who are leading by 2-0.
Nyasa Bullets, can they get that goal which will take this game back to square one? Not with such kind of process from Salima, the new man on the pitch.
Of course, you can see Brian Chirimina majestically walking towards the ball to go and take the throw-in. He tries to delay a bit by pretending to have issues with his socks.
This is when we expect Coach Chisi to put a delaying tactics change. This few minutes, football can be cruel at times.
maybe he has done enough so far, even as Malunga is taking that throw in, which he has delayed, and it has actually earned him a yellow card from the referee.
So aggregate is 3-2 in favor of Red Arrows. So should Arrows score another goal, that will be it for Nyasa. Brian Shipanuka. A foul goes in his favor.
He's actually enjoying himself, the young Anton Chipanuka, just trying to do some acrobatics. Reminds me of the good old days when we were small boys, just doing some somersaults on the sand. We never had the luxury of doing somersaults on such a turf as the one that we are seeing at Hero Stadium this afternoon.
And so Mulingi, the 5 additional minutes has come and gone. Anytime from now, the Libyan center match referee Mubarak Muhammad should be able to whistle for the end of this particular encounter. He looks at his watch, but Nyasa still got that opportunity to go forward and attack. Red Arrows can't afford to make a mistake.
Absolutely.
Maybe an extra minute has been given. Chipanuka brought down once again.
And that is exactly what I was talking about. This is exactly why the coach introduced Chipanuka at this point. Take your time on the ball.
And a man from Libya has said, Red Arrows, have your way to the next round of the CAF Champions League. TP Mazembe awaits Red Arrows. It is confirmed. Red Arrows will play the Democratic Republic of Congo Giants, former African champions, TP Mazembe, in the next round of the CAF Champions League. It's hard luck, hard done to the Malawian team that did all that they could to at least make Red Arrows sweat for their money. Mulingi, what a game that we had before us this afternoon.
What a game we had on our hands, Brian. Very, very interesting. A game that had it all. A penalty, a good number of brilliant saves, particularly from Richard Chimbamba in the Nyasa Bullets goal area. Good performances from Clyde Senanji and his defensive partners. But at the end of the day, Red Arrows came out all guns blazing in the second half. And Nyasa Bullets had very little answers for the questions that Red Arrows asked them. Chisimbe were made a game-changing substitution by introducing Angel Lumemba, who came along with his strength and 4 runs going forward. Red Arrows were actually a better side.
Very true indeed, Mulingi. It's just run through the highlights of the game, Mulingi. So Brian Shlimina there brings in a cross. Of course, hits the upright. This could have been the first goal for Red Arrows, Mulingi.
They could have had a hat trick, they could have had a cricket scorer in this afternoon, but the goalkeeper also stood to his ground, he stood tall, but Angel Lumemba had other ideas.
This is where the penalty came on. Very debatable though.
Very debatable, I must say, but I think it is the second goal that killed off the game and won this game in favor of Red Arrows.
Saddam Piri putting the spots to bed, sending the goalkeeper, Richard, the wrong way.
Showing his leadership qualities there, Brian, if you were to ask me.
And it's at this moment when Red Arrows really came into it and showed that they can fly above everything. Captain of the side, Saddam Yusuf Piri. As if that wasn't enough, this also was a very good run, but Alassane Diarra was rather disappointing here.
Rather disappointing. This would have been the second goal, no doubt.
From this angle, the visitors could have gotten something out of this particular play. Coach Panuka, who brought in so much energy, had a lot to say in as far as the second was concerned. Brian Chirimina to Alassane Diarra, Ricky Banda, and what a finish, Mulingi, by the captain.
Yes, I think he replicated what he had done earlier in the match. If there's one thing that I've learned about Ricky Banda today is that he is able to not just score goals, but also create them. He laid a similar ball in the path of Alassane Diarra earlier on in the match, but of course his Malian teammate disappointed him. He did give up. He actually laid another one this time around to his vice captain Paul Pogba-Katema. Paul Pogba-Katema had a very not a so brilliant afternoon in this particular game, but of course that will not count as he scored the second goal that has actually propelled his team to the second round of to the next round of the CAF Champions League.
They kneel down in prayer, appreciating God for what He has done for them. It hasn't been easy. It's been a rough path, but they've walked through it anyway. They're flying above everything, Mulingi. But the journey has just started. The battle has just started. Next is the elephant on the way, Mulingi. How do they gun it down? Tipi Mazembe is waiting.
This game is now history. Let the technical bench put it behind their backs. Let them now try and strategize and see how they can progress from here. Otherwise, Red Arrows are in safe hands to progress, to do wonders in this year's CAF Champions League brand.
So after all is said and done, here at our National Heroes Stadium in Lusaka, Zambia, Red Arrows have managed to beat Nyasa Bullets by 2-0. We thank you for being with us throughout 90 minutes, and we do appreciate your viewership, especially those of you from Malawi. This has been USTV, your number one online channel that aims to bring sports closer to your doorsteps. I've been your main match commentator, Brian Miller Jr., alongside Coach Kengo Musyoka Mulingi. Until next time, we say bye and God bless.